Hello students. Today we will discuss about the play Tughlaq. Tughlaq, which was published in Kannada in 1964, is Girish Karnad's second play. His first play Yayati was a self-consciously existentialist drama on the theme of responsibility. Tughlaq did not just become a cult classic drama in Kannada, but also went on to make its mark in English literature and was even translated to English by Karnad himself. The play even took several other linguistic forms, including Urdu. It is also said that no other play saw the amount of success that Tughlaq did. Several movies in different languages were also made. Tughlaq was an immediate success on the stage also. It was first produced in Kannada in 1965 and was also done about the same time in Hindi by the National School of Drama, Bengali and Marathi productions. Followed and in 1970 there was an English production in Bombay which was a major success. It is not hard to account for the immediate response the play has received from Kannada as well as other audience. One can enjoy the play on this stage without paying much attention to its rich and complex symbolism and the subtle weaving of its different motifs. The play has an interesting story, an intricate plot, scope for spectacle, and uses dramatic conventions like the chronic pair Ajiz and Ajam, the Akara and Makara of Natak performances, to which theatre audiences respond readily. Another reason for Tughlaq's appeal to Indian audience is that it is a play of the 1960s and reflects as no other play perhaps does the political mood of disillusionment which followed the Nehru era of idealism in the country. Karnad himself has commented it was enacted in June 1971. On this, Karnad commented, "What struck me absolutely about Tughlaq's history was that it was contemporary. The fact that here was the most idealistic, the most intelligent king ever to come on the throne of Delhi, and one of the greatest failure also. And within a span of 20 years, this tremendously capable man had gone to pieces. This seemed to be both due to his idealism as well as the shortcomings within him, such as his impatience, his cruelty, his feeling that he had the only correct answer. And I felt in the early 60s India had also come very fair in the same direction. The 20-year period seemed to me very much a striking parallel. But the play is more than a political allegory based on one of the kings from the Mughal emperor who ruled Delhi Sultanate from 1325 to 1351. It has an irreducible, puzzling quality which comes from the ambiguities of Tughlaq's character. The dominating figure in the play, all the other characters are dramatized aspects of his complex personality, yet they also exist in their own right. Kannada critics have made detailed analysis of the play, paying special attention to the symbolism of the game of chess, the theme of disguise, the ironic success of Ajiz, whose amazing story runs parallel to Tughlaq's, and the dualism of the man and the hero of the Tughlaq, which is the source of the entire tragedy. The play has finally an elusive and haunting quality which it gets from the character of Tughlaq, who has been realized in great psychological depth. But it would be unjust to say that the play is about an interesting character, for the play relates the character of Tughlaq to philosophical question on the nature of man and the destiny of whole kingdom, which a dreamer like him controls. Although the theme of the play is from history, Karnad's treatment of the theme is not historical. Take for instance the use Karnad makes of the leitmotif of the play prayer in the scene where the Muslim chieftains, along with Sheikh Shamsuddin, a pacifist priest, conspire to murder Tughlaq while at prayer. The use of prayer for murder is reminiscent of what Tughlaq himself did to kill his father. That prayer, which is most dear to Tughlaq, is vitiated by him as well as his enemies, is symbolic of the fact that his life is corrupted at its very source. The whole episode is ironic. It involves Shahabuddin, an idealist who has put great trust in Tughlaq's rule and is himself ultimately betrayed by Ratan Singh, who masterminds the entire plan of murder for his own ends. The intrigue is a dramatized projection of Tughlaq's torture divided self. Thus, the external action throughout enacts the inner drama of Tughlaq. Both Tughlaq and his enemies initially appear to be idealists, yet in the pursuit of the ideal, they perpetuate its opposite. The whole play is structured on these opposites, the ideal and the real, the divine aspiration and the daft interior. Tughlaq is what he is in spite of his self-knowledge and an intense desire for divine grace. He is aware of the irony of his life when Aji is the only character in the play who has skillfully used all the scheme of Tughlaq for his own designs, kills Ghiyasuddin and comes in his guise as a holy messenger of peace to purify the land and revive the banned prayer. The irony is deeply tragic. In the end, Tughlaq and his kingdom are one of their chaos, and he knows it. This play, one can witness varied character of the different horizons being displayed on the stage. The feeling of hatred, insecurity, injustice seem to have stuck from the very first scene. The play opens with the usual conversation between residents of Delhi, gossiping about their king. The introduction of a special character called Ajij in the first scene brings the first twist in the plot, where one can see Muslims getting converted into Brahmins for better survival. As the story proposes, the layers of the Tughlaq character are being exposed in an astonishing way to the audience, and he seemed to have this delusional warfare with his thoughts. The citizen claiming blood of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq on the king's hand, who happens to be his father, adds like a cherry on top on miseries and agony in Tughlaq's life. While migration of the entire empire from Delhi to Daulatabad came in as a first big surprise to the citizens, where the king demanded the citizens to do so. The second surprise was when he banned the prayers in his kingdom. A king banning the prayer of his religion in the entire kingdom is surely an unusual thing. The character of Tughlaq also portrays someone with pluralistic and secularistic thinking, and believed in ruling the kingdom with the same. The justification of which can be seen when he gives the land of a Brahmin which was stuck in a dispute to not so Brahmin. When scrutinized this particular move, it reveals the dichotomy between generosity and morality of his character. This insanity takes an elevation when he announces the equal weight of silver coins and copper coins. The two other characters, Barni and Najib, guiding the Sultan, standing by all his horrible decisions, are a great addition to the play. The play ends on an exceptional note, king sleeping on the throne during the prayer, which perhaps was being sung after years of the ban, gave an open ending and left the audience to think at their level of intellect. This play is a perfect example of any leader who, despite being an intellect, political and believing pluralism, secularism, can sometimes fail miserably. Many readers have compared the Tughlaq era similar to that of Nehru's because they share similar beliefs. Thank you. In the next class, we will discuss about the main theme of Tughlaq.